when the flywheel slid back up on there, that's where it would be at. Even to knock it on up a little bit more to close up that gap right there. No need to push it on there, but you understand it can't come no further than the end of that once it's in place. So that's the function of the governor, is this moves this way and only to that part. So that's all the amount of leverage you have. But it has to be freely turning. Well, only up to this point right here is the fact that this right here is some of that modeling clay, and you're supposed to be able to knead it and make shapes. Okay, but the where I'm at to now to say, well, you know, shouldn't have did that. Well, you don't know you shouldn't have did that until you done did it. So you can see on the other side there where I done already shaped it to the flywheel in anticipation of using this clay to adhere a funnel shaped object cone upward at once it's turned over to minimize the amount of rust remover that's required. I think what I do is I'm just going to work with what I got. So I'm going to put the radio on, and what I'm going to do is I have some hot glue on here. So I'm going to drag that hot glue applier out here. I had to get some at the store, well, it done had it done. But I'm going to put some more hot glue on here all the way around to seal this can lid to the outside of this flywheel, thereby leaving a void for the for that vapor rust is what I'm going to use on this right here. So I need the volume right there on the outside for that evapor rust. This is what I've come up with. And you see that mess I got on there? Mm-hmm. That's that can lid and hot glue.
Are you gonna flip it over?
Do you think that vapor rust will soften this?
Oh yeah, eventually.
See, I give it.
Okay,
here's where I went wrong. My idea was, I get that. Okay. It's just my thinking on that vapor rust, and this was my initial, but I have to undo it now. When I cut that cookie thing up in two, this is what I left up with. It was that the idea was to put that clay up on there and have a void in here and then pour that vapor rust in here. Well, you think that worked? Mm-hmm. Huh? It's a pretty good amount.
I mean, probably
less than a gallon. Okay, now I don't think that clay will work. So I have to dig this stuff off and then put the hot glue on this to adhere it to that. Huh? War brush. X-Acto knife with a blade.
It seems like a lot of effort for that.
What would you do?
I done wire wheeled it.
Well, see, I don't want to lose no metal is my thinking. I need every bit of metal that he had.
You wouldn't lose no metal wire wheeling it. Yeah, I would definitely do that. I mean, you're gonna polish this right here anyway with a emery or something, ain't you? So.
Well, you know that miracle vapor rust, you know.
Well, no, you still gonna have to do something to it.
But I can't afford more than a gallon, or I would do the whole thing. Yeah, on the YouTube, that dude down there, A-Bomb, he has a like a big tank of it with a forklift, and damn, how cool would that be?
Because it's the time that you spent and the money on the glue and all that stuff, just buy the other 2 gallons of vapor rust and be done with it and get the whole thing clean. Because you can reuse it.
In lieu of not having amount of vapor rust and not wanting to spend any more because you only have a gallon to work with. Okay, look at that. By the time I get that scraped off, that'll be good as a war brush one. Huh?
It'll be close.
You have to clean this whole engine ready for paint with this X-Acto now. And that'd be really good enough for hot glue. Huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, how you rate this so far?
Well,
I mean, we about have to. There's no water brush to follow up on that, I would think. So I have to remember to let that, from the top, let it lap over and catch that part because I don't think it would stick to this clay very much.
well, I think they have a problem with that rust right there too, won't it?
No, see how clean that is? Right there. See that hot glue stick real good to that. There is a problem with doing this that I've done learned from using vapor rust some more times in the past. And well, you pointed out the other day, but at this point, it's just something I have to, you know, realize I done did it this kind of. Well, the problem also, it not being a problem, just you know, like this clay, like I bought that back in 1998 or somewhere way back in there, like that many years ago, and it didn't survive. It dried out, and I think if it had been when I used it, it was stuck good and worked. But I had to abandon this idea because of that. I didn't have any that material.
Mm-hmm.
So,
See, I would have done got the power tool out. I'd have done got the power tool out.
the little buffer thing?
No. Wire wheel on the end of anything. Just done.
Yeah. I'd say this is about the most cost-effective method.
Well, it's time is the factor. Yeah, it's just time.
Well, yeah. See, with the wipe down of some, you know what, hard cleaner or something.
Yeah.
Lacquer thinner even.
Yeah, I'll go along with that too.
That's gonna be pretty clean because that's down to it's past the oil.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Fill up this hole in here with the vapor rust.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And that's the way this works. See, when that comes like that, and I fill up this year, it fills up the hole and the outside around it.
I know, but see, right now, you could put it in there, and you would know if it's going to hold or not. If it's still there in an hour, you know it's going to hold, and then if it ain't going to hold, there's no sense in putting this one on there.
No, because see where I got that clay at, I have to overcome that looseness right there with the hot glue before I can. See, I wouldn't trust that because that probably leak. But when you put a big block of hot glue on it,
Okay.
huh? What do you think?
Well, no, I wouldn't want to do all this if it wasn't gonna hold. So I test it myself. You know,
Well, I think we'll be all right.
okay.
At least we'll try it, and if it don't work, it'll be in the same category as this clay. It just didn't work, you know. But we done talked about the other day is where this, and I don't like it because it affects the metal. And you know, if you looked it up in the book, it would show you some kind of little particle things that goes away. Possibly where that vapor rust stops and it ain't no more, because you'll get a place right here around that where it stops. It's really hard to deal with, you know. And you have to, you know, and it's going to happen here. It's going to be a, you know, transition. So it's hard to deal with. But anyway, that's. I think that vapor rust, that's good and dry, so I don't think you can do anything to that to improve that. That's my.
I don't either.
You know, so I'm gonna hot glue that on there and fill it up. What do you think about 2 days?
What, leave it for 2 days?
Yeah.
Working?
Yeah.
Oh no, 24 hours and you'd be good to go. With some
Can you leave it too much?
Brand new vapor rust. You can leave it too much, but that would be, you know, 4 or 5 days probably, but because it turns black.
Let's get that done.
It does
Man.
so.
And y'all leave a comment.